Hello dear students, welcome to the video lecture for Economics, Standard 12th Commerce. Yes, I know I might be very new to you all, but this is Ankit Vaidya and I will be taking your Economics for the rest of the chapters that are left. We will very soon meet in the video lecture as well, in the live lecture as well. But as of now, I will take your economics and SPCC from the chapters which are left. So today, I am going to start with a chapter in economics, and the chapter is 10th chapter, and the chapter is industrial sector. Though we will discuss the points in detail, line by line from the textbook in the live lecture. But before attending the live lecture, it is must that you all see this video and try to understand what all topics are we going to study. If you take the textbook and see the curriculum of the chapter, before starting the chapter, it should be very clear what you are going to study in this chapter. So in this chapter, basically, we will study the importance of industrial sector. That question we will discuss. This question is oftenly asked in 3 marks as well. We will go marks wise. I will tell you, you can take out the question papers of last year's board, and you can see, you will realize which are the questions that are most important. Besides all, I will also tell you. But as of now, we will study in this video lecture the importance of industrial sector. Then we will see the classification of industrial sector. Say you can say the structure of industrial sector. Then we will study about the problems what the industrial sector is facing in current Indian economy. And we will also study what government has taken the steps, what measures have been taken to develop the industrial structure. So this all are the basic curriculum points. I know we are moving ahead and we are moving near to the completion of course. And in that journey, I have joined you. We will complete the chapters and I assure you, we will go with a rapid, efficient revision. So, what is industrial sector? Basically, if you make a list of the countries that are developed, and if you make a list of countries which are in a developing stage, definitely you can take India in that list of developing countries. But if you see the list of the most developed countries in the world, you will find all the countries who have developed their industries well. You will never see a country, or you will rarely see a country whose agriculture sector is the main sector and is placed in the developed countries. So the first importance you should realize, in order to become an economically developed country, your industrial sector should be very strong enough. Right? Your industrial sector should be very strong enough, or you said industrial sector should be well developed. No doubt, you all know there is the occupation structure of economy. It consists of agriculture sector, it consists of industrial sector, it consists of service sector. Now what I am speaking is all given in your textbook. You can just read out the book as well. You will find the same content. But I want you to write in your own words, just first explaining you the importance, and then we will move on to the points given in the textbook. If I talk about India, then India was a country whose more than 72% population dependent on agriculture sector for earning the livelihood. Slowly this ratio has came down. Slowly, initially at the time of independence, more than 72% of the total Indian population dependent on agriculture sector for earning the livelihood. You must not forget, we term India as an agrarian country. But this figure, this ratio that was more than 72% at the time of independence, depending on agriculture sector, that ratio has slowly came down. We are progressing in industrial sector. Our industries, some of the industries have become a multinational industries as well. But still, we cannot term India as a completely industrialized sector or say completely industrialized country. We still have a lot to do in the field of industries that our industries can make their mark in the world's developed countries. So first point I want to explain you is that if you want to be in the list of developed countries, your industrial sector should be well developed. Let's move on to the topic. The topic is importance of industrial sector. There are total 7 points that are being given in your textbook. First one is, you can say, contribution in national income. If we talk about India, then in year 1951, the contribution of industrial sector in national income was 16.6%. Now this, whenever in the big questions, the figures will come. I'll mention it on the board because these figures can be useful in the big 5 marks question as well. And it can be useful in 1 or 2 marks question or say MCQs as well. Fine. So it is very important to remember. Talking about the same, that the contribution of national income or contribution of industrial sector in national income in year 1951 was 16.6%, which increased in year 2013-14. It increased and the ratio came to 27%. So from this we can say the contribution of industrial sector in national income of India is increasing, but still there is a lot to do. This ratio needs to be more. Fine. So, industrial sector in a developing country like India is still developing. Second is employment. In India, majority of the population, they depend on agriculture sector. The maximum employment is generated from agriculture sector, but still in 1951 the contribution or the share of industrial sector in generating the employment was 10.6%. That means 10.6% population gained the employment, gained the livelihood from the industrial sector, which increased 2011-12, it increased to 24.3%. This shows the increase, but still the increase is not sufficient. We need our industries to generate more employment. The problem of an industrial sector is that it is a capitalist sector. That means big machineries, big technologies, updated technologies are being used, and that does not generate the employment, because a machine can perform a work of 100 workers. Then why an entrepreneur will be interested to employ 100 employees or workers, give them salaries? Every year due to conflict there will be strikes and lockouts and all. It's better to invest in a machinery. So gradually industrialists always prefer to adopt the heavy technology, updated technology. But still in 1951, the share in employment of industrial sector was 10.6%, whereas it increased to 24.3%. So this 2 points. First is share in national income and share in employment. Third is export. export income. India is an agrarian country, so it is but obvious that India will export more of the agricultural products rather than industrial products. But still, a figure came in year 2013-14, the share in export was 2/3, means out of the total exports that has been done by India, 2/3 was the export of industrial products. Fine. Now, what is export used for? See, if we do the maximum exports, then we will earn foreign exchange. And that foreign exchange will be very useful to purchase the commodities which are not there with our country. So, industrial sector is the most important sector, that if we export more and more products, then we will earn more and more foreign currencies. And due to that foreign currencies, what will happen? We can import the things which are scarce in nature in our country. So export income is also an importance. So first is contribution in national income, employment, export income, balanced economic development. Now what is balanced economic development? There are some sectors, there are some regions which are underdeveloped. I will give you a best example. You take an example of Mundra and imagine Mundra in the map of Kutch just before say 15 to 20 years. Mundra was just like a small village. But if you ask today to any person residing in any part of India, and you take the name Mundra, he will surely know the place, or he might be familiar with the name of that place due to the industries such as Adani. The whole scenario of Mundra is changed due to the industries. You talk about Kandla. If just before 30 years or 20 years you ask anybody like Kandla, what is Kandla in Kutch as well, they might say a small, like a place from where import-export can be done. But now, on that road if you go, you will see ample of industries. Now, due to that, what I want to explain you in this point is that due to industries, the economic development takes place in the backward areas as well. Because see, over there is some population residing with some same old thoughts. Girls are not sent to school, English education should not be there. Same old philosophy, thoughts will prevail in that. But as industry set up, new people will come. They will mix with the culture. The people over there will feel that no, world is going somewhere else. And we have been stayed here in the same 100 years back mentality. So due to this, economic development takes place of the backward areas as well. Fine? And each and every state, each and every region, each and every district will be economically developed in a balanced proportion. Fine? 4 points up till now: contribution in national income, contribution in employment, and export income, balanced economic development. The next point is modernization of agriculture. Yes, India is definitely an agrarian country. For sure, an agrarian country. But friends, for performing agriculture activity, the agriculture was done in the past days with traditional methods, with a bullock and cart, with the same old traditional method, and due to that, the productivity in that agriculture field was not heavy. Or we can say that the cultivity or say productivity from that land was very less than the efforts put by farmers. Plus, there were dangers of insects destroying the agricultural, say, crop. But now, thanks to industrial sector, due to industries there are fertilizers available. Due to industries, there are various insecticides available. Due to industries, farmer with a very less efforts, with the help of tractors, submersible monopumps, this all the new technologies have been developed by the industries. So due to the development of industries, the agriculture sector also has developed. It has got the fruits or benefits of modernization. Earlier, the early agriculture was done in just traditional method. But now, thanks to industrial sector, because for the best agricultural productivity, they give the best chemical fertilizers, they give the best insecticides, bio fertilizers, tractors, submersible pumps. So mechanization, technology has entered the field of agriculture, and that is thanks to industrial sector. So the point is modernization of agriculture. Next point is strengthens economic structure. Yes, you can take an example of just a one national highway. When you go to Bhuj to Ahmedabad, you see a big, good, concrete national highway. The roads are made of cement, and cement is made from industries. So the infrastructure, which I mean to say, is that strengthens the economy. Transportation, thanks to industries. Fine. Roads, thanks to industries. So due to industries, the infrastructure of the economy gets strengthened. Fine. Economy, it gets strengthened. You can say communication facilities. Fine. How are these communication towers made of? They are made in industries. Fine. So this is strengthens economic structure. And last point is change in social structure. As I said, if we are living in the same place with the same population since last 30 years, 40 years, the same old mentality will get into our minds. But due to industrialization, when people go to work, they build the feeling of team. They build the feeling of cooperation. They build the feeling of humanity. And new thoughts, modern thoughts enter the mind of people. So due to industries, there is change in the social structure of the economy. So these are the 7 points. I again repeat: contribution in national income, employment, export income, balanced economic development, modernization of agriculture, strengthens economic structure, change in social structure. I do expect, just listen it again and again, but don't mug up. I again request, this is a core theoretical subject, and I expect all the students, don't mug up. Just see my video, read the point once, your answer will be done. Fine? So with the same pattern, I will schedule a live lecture as well. I request you all to join from this, because I have never met you. This is only the medium through which I can request you all to join the live lecture. Be attentive. Your exams are near, and I expect the full sincerity. Thank you. Have a very nice day. Do see the video. Thank you.